Welcome to the show. I'm about to go in with Tech Nine. You dig what I'm saying?
What's up, brother?
But before I do, as always, we like to start the show off with a bit of good news. Today's good news is coming out of Austin, Texas, where a new scholarship program gives young artists the chance to follow their passions. For Corey Tenson, an opportunity to go to the university for what she loves to do is natural. It's a natural extension of her lifelong passion for dance. Her dad called and said Corey knew she wanted to be a dancer before anyone else did. Even when she was very young, she was finding ways to make dance a part of everything she did, despite an early dance teacher kicking her out of class for doing cartwheels. Her love of movement never faded. Dance was a constant in Corey's life. When her father had to leave the family for army deployments overseas, when everything else was uncertain or changing, dance was always a part of Corey's life. For some dancers, the dream of going further in their studies ends after high school, and not for a lack of passion. Of the more than 7,000 universities and colleges across America, only about 80 of them are accredited dance programs. Private unaccredited programs exist, but they're often even more expensive, and students who attend them might not be eligible for aid. This is the reality for so many creative youth looking to follow their dreams. There aren't enough schools with programs for what they want to do. Even if they find a school they love and are accepted to, there are often aren't enough scholarships to help them afford to go. It's a big problem, and one that the Live Moss scholarships are trying to fix. The Live Moss scholarships are offered exclusively to talented, creative students who want to pursue higher education, but don't fit the criteria for standard academic or athletic scholarships. These students are artists, writers, and musicians. They're filmmakers, designers, and activists. They're powerfully talented dancers like Corey. In 2016, the Live Moss Scholarship Fund awarded 220 scholarships to deserving recipients, ranging from $2,500 to $25,000. They promise a one-of-a-kind opportunity for the next generation, one that's not based on grades or sports. There are no essays, no test scores, no right or wrong answers. There's just talent and a desire to do more with it. Corey received a scholarship to attend the prestigious dance program at the University of Texas in Austin. For her, it's the culmination of a dream and a reminder of who she is. Corey's mom, Minnie, agrees. I've always had two words for Corey. Whenever she goes to school or she's on stage, be brave, she said. Fight for your dreams, fight through your failures, and you'll survive. And through that, you'll find happiness, you'll find joy. Y'all reach out to give a big old shout out to Live Moss Scholarships out in Austin, man. Let them know that you appreciate their service. For more good news as well as daily motivational and empowering content, download the Good Spy app today from iTunes or Google Play. Ladies and gentlemen.
Amen.
That's beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Tech Nine is in the building.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and he brought a special guest with him.
Big Chris Calico, man.
What's happening?
It's my brother.
Yes, sir.
It ain't no
Chris Calico.
without Tech Nine. Without Chris Calico, there's no Tech Nine.
That's right.
I can dig it. I can dig it, man. How y'all feel like that? How's the tour going?
It's going good, man. It started off kind of slow, man, because fall tours are really a lot different than our spring and summer tours. You know what I'm saying? As far as attendance, so you know it makes you worry a little bit. But as we kept going, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of it, it started selling out like we usually do. You know.
Hey man, hey, you got a little irony in the name. It's the calm before the storm.
Yes.
You know
It's the calm before the storm.
So it's just getting started. It's cranking
Exactly,
up now.
exactly. You know, and that's crazy that you brought that up because I feel like that after all these years, man, because I've been rhyming since '85. You know, I was in 7th grade,
Right.
and I'll be 45 November 8th. I mean, yeah, 45 because I'm 44 right now, right?
Yeah. Not that he had checked with me.
Really, because I always tell people I'm 22. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I feel like I'm
right.
22. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
like, am I about to turn 45? But my music just keeps getting better and better. And I knew if I named my new album The Storm off of my first album in Kansas City in '96 was called The Calm Before the Storm. So 20 years later, I knew that if I named it The Storm, that it would push me to do the best music I've ever done. And I think I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But man, let me address this elephant in the room, man. Because
Okay.
anytime anybody think of Tech Nine, one of the first things come to mind
Okay.
is that damn rapid flow.
Oh yeah.
Man, how did you develop that flow?
I got it. I first heard it from Slick Rick, Lick the Balls, man. I think that's
he was
what did
rapping
it.
like that.
He say something like, "Don't worry about a thing, just rich. There's nobody sees us. We're rich. We're rich. We can have whatever would please us." It's just that little toasting, like Jamaican toast. Don't worry about a thing. I like that style that he did. So I started doing that style, and started doubling it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it turned into a chopper style. You know what I'm saying? And when I say Slick Rick, people's like, "What? What do you mean?"
Right.
But if you listen to Lick the Balls and some of the styles that he do, it's in there, dog.
So you took it to the next level with the doubling up on it.
Yes.
So
And then
that's all you.
And then later years, like I saw Twista come out like big, like on TV with it. I'm like,
Right.
whoa, you know what I'm saying? It was
Right.
another fast rapper.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, cause my first rhyme in '85 in the 7th grade was non-stop and rapping in the year of '85. But when the money dogs rapping, MC rappers want to crop. But when you hear the vicious beat ball echo through your bones, think of DONTEZZ because he stands alone. Nobody wasn't rapping like that, cause
Right.
it was like when LL Cool J was out and everybody was rapping like motivating and then I'm devastating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like that. Like, I feel good, like Candy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody was trying to mimic that. But
Right.
mine was like, mine stopping rapping in the year of '85. But when it started like that, so I don't know. It's just something that I feel like it came from Lick the Balls. That's when I first started really like doubling it up. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when you were doing it, were people amazed or were they more like, what the hell is this dude talking about?
They was always amazed. The first time I busted a rap in school, people always been amazed because I used to do it and beat up. I did all that on my chest, you know what I'm saying, when I
Right.
was rapping, you know what I'm saying? So like, you heard Aaron, you know, because my name is Aaron Yates.
Right.
You heard Aaron, he beats on his chest and raps, you know, and it don't sound like nobody else. So I never sounded like anybody, even though I wanted to be Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what made me really want to rap. Ice Cube, Public Enemy, BDP, stuff like that. It made me want to rap, you know what I'm saying? Like really take it seriously.
Right.
Because as a kid, you know what I mean, growing up in a Christian home, all we had is Shirley Caesar and church music, you know what I'm saying? But next door, they had Blowfly, Rap Dirty, you know what I'm saying? Rap Dirty and all that at the Reese's house next door, you know, so I used to go next door. And then from there, you know, we moved from Wayne Minor Projects when I was 10. When I was 10, we moved on 59th and Swope Parkway. It was Roger Troutman and Zapp, you know what I'm saying, that really intrigued me. And then I heard Planet Rock for the first time around that time, you know what I'm saying, by Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force at a family reunion skating party at Skateland East. And it just made me stop on the rink and like, what the hell is that eerie sound, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's always been about music. So I used to be a dancer, pop, lock, and break dancer to all that, you know, so even Michael Jackson dancing, everything, MC Hammer dancing, all that, you know what I'm saying? So with rhythm came rhyme. So I already had the rhythm from being a dancer. So it was easier for me to stay on beat when I'm rapping like that.
Right.
Follow me all around the planet. I run the gamut on psychology. They can never manage me. Do damage with no apology. Pick them off the panic a little minute because I got to be friend. I got my jammer because I'm an oddity. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to stay on beat on that. You know what I'm saying?
Now, here go the thing. This is what I wanted to say, man. Like, when I think about those rappers, I call them double rhyming.
Double rhyming, yeah, it is.
When I think about that, I always, it's three names that invariably come to mind.
Bone Thug,
And that's, of course, Bone Thug.
Twista.
Twista and you.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand what you and Twista are saying.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Even though y'all like fucking just...
I never
You
could
know,
understand
but
Bone though. I could never understand
can't-
Bone, but I ain't the
never-
only one.
But I know I like it.
I do
Whatever
too.
the hell they do.
Everybody liked it.
Exactly. I know
But
they like. I know I like it.
I know people that actually know the words, you know, even on the simplest stuff like,
know.
and we're gonna miss everybody, and we're gonna miss everybody, and then it just switched, and we're gonna miss everybody, and who the hell is Edward Lottie? I don't know. That's what it sounded like it was saying.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, he say, and I'm gonna busy be on something, and I'm gonna miss everybody, and I'm gonna miss everybody, and I'm gonna miss everybody, and I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he say.
Right.
But when we went on tour with them, DJ Ice was telling me something about Little Boo Boo got killed or something. Little Boo Boo, God's got him. We never knew what that was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He said Little Boo Boo was their homeboy. He was
Right.
like, he was breaking down the lyrics for us, like, Little Boo Boo, God's got him, and we're gonna miss everybody. I wouldn't have known if
Right.
DJ Ice didn't tell us, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't the only one, and you ain't the only one that never really understood everything
Right.
Bone Thugs say, you know what I'm saying? And I go with the chopper flow.
And then check this out, man. I remember we were in Cleveland back in the day, and Bone opened up for us.
Yeah.
And I remember Chief, our road manager, came back and he was like, man, you heard them little motherfuckers, man, rapping, man. Them niggas, them niggas is killing it, man. They killing it. Man, they got the crowd going crazy. So we were backstage. So, you know, you come around, peek out. You know,
Yeah,
I peek
yeah.
out. I'm like, oh, shit. Everybody losing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what the fuck are they saying?
Yeah.
So, of course, we slept on it.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it was like maybe 2 years later,
Yeah.
they signed a deal with Easy, and the
Yeah.
rest is history.
Oh man, it blew up, man.
Yeah.
Made history.
Now you've signed a number of deals yourself, man. You've been busy, man.
Yeah, I signed my first record deal in '93 with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And,
Yeah, you got so much damn history.
Yeah.
I looked that up, and you also. Well, I remember this. I remember this off the top of my head. But you used to be signed to Quest Records.
Yeah, with Quincy Jones. So all this is tied together, man.
Okay.
Like OG Muggs over there, he always called me Lil Michael Jackson. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because of the fanaticism of my fans and stuff
Right.
like that. That's why I think he called me Lil Michael Jackson. I'm not sure why he called
Right.
me, but he's been calling me that for a long time. But when I think about it, I was signed with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis back in the day. They did Janet Jackson's music. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
remember, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
did
yeah.
Control and all
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So I lost that deal from 93 to 95. 96, 97 is when I signed to Quest with Quincy Jones. He did Michael Jackson's music. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I was always connected with the Jacksons somehow. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't know how, I don't know why.
But you never did a song with Mike?
Nah, I wanted to though. I would have. I believe I would have. I believe I would have did a song with Mike, and he would have did a song with Prince. We would have did it together. You know what I'm saying? Because his big thing is Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and he loves Michael Jackson too. But you know, Prince is his thing. You know what I'm saying? Prince is everybody's thing for real. But
Right.
I would have did a song with Michael Jackson. But I actually got to do something on my new album with Marsha Ambrosius of Floetry, and Mike signed them. You know what I'm saying? Brownstone back in the day. So that made me feel good. I've been a Brownstone fan since day one. I used to date Maxie back in was it 93? Was it 90? I think it was 93.
You used to date who?
Maxie, she passed. She was one of the group members, Brownstone. I heard, you know what I'm
Oh.
saying? And if you
Wait a minute, that's
love
the chick
me,
that just
sing it. If you
recently
trust
died,
me.
right?
Yeah,
Like maybe
yeah.
what, a year or so?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
fell and cut her neck on a glass or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was out there in '93, I think that was '93. Was it '93 or '96? Okay, I'll get my years
Damn,
mixed
that's a
up. 'cause-
big man. That's a large spread. 93.
Yeah.
No, 96.
Yeah.
No,
I think
was,
right.
was that 93 or 94?
I think
Maybe
I think it was
92.
93. I think it was 93. Because I was doing big drugs back then. I've been clean for like almost 12 years. But,
Right.
I was doing big drugs. It's hard to remember a lot of that stuff back then. But
Right.
but I did a song with Marsha Ambrosius, you know, on my new album called Anywhere. And I remember when they got signed to MJJ back in the day. I think they were like the first group to get signed by Michael
Yeah.
Jackson. So that made me feel good, like I was connected no matter what. And I got to talk to her on the phone like a couple weeks ago for the first time. And she's like, Tech, I'm glad we finally got to do a song, because she heard me talking about her for so long. You know what I'm saying? I've been such a big fan of Floetry. And so I think that's connected to Mike too.
Man, you got to be the most underground mainstream artist
Oh, that's crazy. I'm a clusterfuck.
in history.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm underground, but
Yeah.
it's bleeding over to the mainstream. I got
Yeah.
songs with Kendrick Lamar and 2 Chainz, and you know, on the metal side, I got Slipknot and System of a Down, and on the new album, I got Korn on there. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan
Damn.
Davis is on there, so it's like I've always been the underground underdog, but I think you just can't contain good music, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And you know that, 'cause
Yeah.
y'all forever.
Yeah.
So you just can't contain it. There's no ceiling that can hold y'all or hold us. So, you know, it's gonna keep on bleeding over because we're still pushing for world domination. There's some places on the earth that we ain't treaded yet. You know what I'm saying? There's some places we ain't even been. We ain't been to Brazil yet to do nothing. We ain't been to Japan yet and did nothing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't been to Africa yet to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we got fans from over there. No.
Man, I know you got fans every,
No, I
in every
know.
part of
They
the globe.
tell us. They tell us.
Yeah.
We just got to get over there, man. It's like we got a lot more
What's
work
the
to do.
holdup?
I don't know if there's a hold up. I think it's always promoters have to get us there, or we have to do it ourselves. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And find venues ourselves over there. And I don't think we did that yet. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think that's the way to go. I mean, that's a little bit different. I mean,
Yeah,
you got to know the terrain. I used to
Yeah.
live overseas. So,
Exactly.
So you want to connect. All you got to do is connect with that one promoter.
Exactly.
And then once that happens, then you're
Yeah.
off to the races.
That's what I mean. Having the right promoter, man, and right people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know a couple of promoters over there that's connected.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have no problem connecting you with them.
Yeah, I would love to, man.
Yeah.
It's because we even been to Kuwait and Bahrain when the heat was on, brother. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? To where we were like wondering if we should go, but it was for the troops. So we like, I'm going. You know what I mean? Because without them over there doing what they do, we won't be free over here to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? So we went over there and did the USO tour for the troops.
Now, when was this?
What year was it, Chris?
2012, I want to say, maybe.
Yeah.
2012, I think.
Yeah.
Now, how long you and Chris been riding?
Oh man.
Since 2000.
Since 2000.
Yeah.
I came to him and told him I wanted him to do my second major record with me. It was called Absolute Power.
Right.
But I got with him around my first album, Angelic. I think you did a song for me on Angelic.
And how did y'all meet?
We did a song called Who You Come to See.
I found him at an open mic session, but he knew.
Where?
It was on 18th and Vine. You know what I'm saying?
Mardi
Down
Gras.
in Kansas City, where we're from.
Kansas
It's called,
City, right.
it's called
Yeah.
the Mardi Gras in the Jazz District. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? 18th and Vine. Charlie Parker. All that. I found him down there. He was down there singing and doing poetry. You know what I mean? At this thing that they had on Tuesdays called open mic at Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? And he happened to live behind the producer that I used, Icy Rock, back then. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He lived in the same.
It was a housing development. It's like a new housing development right in the hood.
Citadel.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
kind of Citadel Homes. Yeah.
And I met him. I ran into him over there one day at the Rock Pit, and I played music. He paid me to do a song before. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
At the Rock Pit, he's like, "I'll pay you $700 to do this." You know what I'm saying? I think he sold me some weed or something.
I did. I did.
Yeah.
At the time, I was working at T-Mobile.
Choir boy sold
Yeah.
me some weed.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And, what did I need the weed for? I had a chick or something.
What else you gonna need the weed for?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
But we met.
Well, maybe it's used as inspiration. To write them
That's what
lyrics.
it is. That's what you gonna go with.
I doubt it. I
You
think it
going
was
with
pro-
inspiration.
I think it was about a chick. I think it was about a
It
chick.
was.
Yeah.
was.
I think it was about a chick. Cause I
It
wouldn't.
was.
Yeah. But I met. I found him at Mardi Gras, but we did work at the same studio. And after I heard him do his thing, after he paid me, I heard him singing on this song called Deception and Lies. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he got a really good voice. I'm like, I need that on my next album. I said, hey, dude, I want you to do my whole next album with me. He thought that I was lying.
I thought he was playing.
Yeah, he worked at T-Mobile. I told him, man, forget that job. Come with me.
Right.
I thought he was playing. Somebody tell you to forget your job with benefits.
Right.
You're not gonna just be like, okay, cool. I was like, man, no, I'm burning CDs. I'm selling bootleg movies, working at T-Mobile, and selling weed. I'm gonna just stick with that.
So how long did it take you to be convinced that this is a better way?
Years. It really took years, man. I mean, I rode with him, and I did work. Like, we would go do gigs. Like, he called me and told me, man, I want you to do a whole album with me. And I was like, take with me to do a whole album with him. And then we did a whole album together. And then I did a couple shows, and then more shows and more shows, but I kept my job. So we would do shows, man, in like Detroit, and either take a flight or take off right after the show so I could get back to work. Right. And I really didn't think it was gonna work. I'm not gonna lie. He always thought it was gonna work. I wouldn't get no tattoos. I was like, nah, dude, I'm gonna probably have to work in the corporate world. This is what I'm gonna do. I thought he had a dream. I thought he was just a dreamer. You know what I'm saying? And I always been like a responsible dude. Plus, I was doing like gospel theater and I was doing all of this at one time. I was still singing in church. I was super active in church still, and it ended up I finally, after a minute, it took us, cause we wasn't getting paid for gigs. I was doing shows with him, but we weren't getting paid for him. We were just trying to get on, kind of get on. Even though he was, to me and to Kansas City, he was already on. Tech Nine was like already huge in Kansas City, so I'm thinking like, well, where the bread at? I ain't getting on. And then I got fired because I was doing shows with him and I was living off my unemployment. I'm like, this is not gonna work.
Right.
This ain't gonna work, Tech, man. I thought this was gonna be something that he was like, just stick with me. Watch how legendary we become, man. And then we finally, once I first got that first $200 for that show, I was like, okay, I got $200. Maybe this, maybe this will work out.
He didn't believe it because I told him, on top of him being uber talented, his look, you know what I'm saying, with his vitiligo, with the skin disease that he has, you know what I'm saying, I said people will connect with that, bruh, you know what I'm saying, and all his life he got teased about it and picked on and bullied because of it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now it's used as a weapon to get your bread on.
Well, it's the reason why my name is
identity.
That's why they call me Calico, because it's like the cat. Chris Calico, that's the reason for my name, and he was right. It connected, and like I do party songs, but most of the time when I do really meaningful songs, people really connect with it because I talk a lot about having mental illness and things like that, things that a lot of people can identify with. Yeah. And so here we are, man. 16 years later. And millions of fans later, man, and it's
and they've got his face on their skin and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thousands of people have that, and my Chris Calico tattoo that's on my arm is 2 Ks turned backwards. It looks like a spider. We call it the Spider K. And now here we are, man, still inspiring other artists and inspiring even mainstream artists, man. And that's why they reach out to us. When we're walking somewhere and I seen 2 Chainz backstage at a festival we playing, and I'm just kind of walking. He walking with his boys, and I'm by myself backstage. And he like, hold on, hey, Chris Calico, hey, man, come here, man, I love your stuff. And I'm like, you know me? Because we never really know.
At some point, a good student will become the teacher.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.